Before I start reviewing the anime this episode, a bit of a heads up. This episode was originally going to feature Love Live Nijisaki High School Idol Club. In fact, I'd already started looking into images I could use for a preview. Unfortunately, Funimation decided that, no, they don't want to show it to the UK, so I will not be showing a review to the rest of the world either, until Funimation decide they actually want to let us see it. Thankfully though, that does still mean we have 4 more new shows we need to look at, with one of the new shows stepping forward an episode to get included in this one. Are they any good? Let's find out. Because this is a 2020 autumn anime preview, from a different perspective. Isekai as a genre has been around for many years. You just have to look at things like Spirited Away, where she's transported into another mysterious world to a bathhouse where she has to help serve spirits, and the likes of Escaflowne as well, a girl transported to another world looking for a van. I don't know if it's a Ford Transit or pickup truck, but she wants a van anyway. And another anime which was quite obviously a forerunner of a modern isekai is Inuyasha, because Kagome is an isekai protagonist. She gets sucked down a well with a half-demon dog who she can tell to sit all the time. An amusing trope, but overused dramatically during the anime. Well, great news if you're fans of Inuyasha, or isekai in general, because Inuyasha is back, but it's not with an Inuyasha remake or anything like that. It's almost like a pseudo-sequel. An anime set in the same world, which looks to be another kind of isekai. One of the characters looks to be from our world, but set in the future. Welcome to the world of Yasa-hime, Princess Half-Demon. Welcome to Moaha, Totowa, and Setsuna, our 3 main characters. And they all seem to be quite combat-enabled girls as well. We don't know too much about them yet, as the first episode is not about them. The first episode plays out pretty much like the Inuyasha VA that Rumiko Takahashi really wanted to write before she started work on this new piece. And the first episode takes us back and shows us what all our other characters from Inuyasha have been doing since the series ended. Now, we'll be honest, I never really watched Inuyasha. I think I watched the first season or the first... I'll definitely watch some of it. I never watched all of it. So I know the basic premise of Inuyasha, Sesshomaru, of Kagome, of Sango, of Miroku, of Shippo. So I know the basic premise of what's going on. I know that some of the characters have got insane weapons. I mean, just look at the size of Sango's boomerang. It's huge. It's the size of a body. But beyond that, I really don't know what's going on. All I know is that fangirls are going to swoon over seeing Inuyasha and Sesshomaru all over again. Not for me though. The idea of this new story in this old world seems interesting since it's not a straight up remake. It's an interesting way of showing us a new story in the same world. It's also useful for Takahashi because she doesn't need to create this whole new world. She can rely on stories and plots start from the original, which she can just expand upon. So in another way, Yasa-hime is very much the Yuku holder to Inuyasha's Negima. They're sort of like sequels, but are kind of sequels, not related to them, but they probably are related to them in the future, and connections we haven't been told yet. And so your strength of how much you're going to like this one will determine, did you like the original Inuyasha? Do you think it needs more? Are you interested in watching a girl tell a half-demon dog to sit all the time? Hopefully there'll be less of that in this one, because Inuyasha's not a main character anymore. Hopefully it'll be more fun, and hopefully it doesn't go down the drain. If you are interested in watching this one's airing over at Crunchyroll. Miniature anime have come a long way since the days of Area 88 and Stratos 4, where you got the idea of this dark, gritty, grizzled, realistic fighter plane anime, or this tits-nasses, girls leaning over this very interesting flight positioning way to get fan service and panty shots. Really, I'd take either of them, to be honest. I like both types for different reasons. But Sigrifa is a show which is very much a modern military anime. Think of it like the Girls and Panzer of the fighter plane world, where it's a sort of cross between Girls and Panzer and Strike Witches, where you've got this mysterious alien being launching themselves into a world, and girls fighting in fighter planes. It reminded me a lot of the 3rd Aerial Girls Battle Squadron from Shirobako, which is not a real anime, but deserves to be. And again, there's a lot of real anime in Shirobako which deserve to be one. I want my goth lolly baseball team, god damn it. This is definitely more about the third aerial girls squadron, because you got this girl squadron of fighter planes taking out aliens. Of course, being a modern show, there's loads of Chunibyo crap thrown in there. As you can probably tell by the name Warlords of Sigrifa, it's very much a Norse-inspired anime, where the only characters who can beat them are the Norse-given named ones, the Valkyries. And our Valkyrie of choice here is Claudia Broford, who is known as a Grim Reaper because every battle that she goes in, she's the only one who survives. She's a black flag to anyone who appears near her. And as such, she's got no confidence in her ability to keep other people safe whatsoever. Thankfully, the other girls in the squadron are very nice people. You got the absolutely hyperactive, friendly, smiley Miyako. You got the super sweet and innocent Sonika. And you got the super shy, super unsporty, but absolutely adorable Azuzu. I mean, with a name like Azuzu, of course you're going to be adorable. And Azuzu is, of course, the squadron leader. And I'm sure as we get to know these girls, we're going to learn the ins and outs, they're going to become friendly. There's probably going to be some Yori ships going on here and there. I can already see some happening already. But it's not that type of show, it's more about the planes, and the planes are definitely the stars here. It's not just traditional fighter planes either. I mean, one of them flies a seaplane, one of them flies a biplane. Some fantastic aerial combat here. I mean, you can tell it's by the same person who did the aerial combat from Last Exile, because the same... I mean, one of the characters does an Emo turn at one point. And Last Exile was all about the Emo turn, wasn't it? But whether or not you like Warlords of Sigrifa will depend on whether or not you like military anime aimed at guys who like girls, who like anime, who like planes, or tanks, or militaria. I don't mind it. I'm definitely going to give this one another shot. It's not the best no-show of the season, but it's far from being the worst. If you are interested in watching this one, you can find it airing over at Funimation. You know, it was only a few minutes ago I was talking about tits and asses in a show to sell itself. Well, Iwakakuru is definitely an anime which shows itself forward with tits and asses. As you've got this scantily clad girls climbing walls. Well, they're scantily clad because they're wearing rock climbing attire. Because they are Iwakakuru sports climbing girls. Now, I like myself a good sports anime. Doubly so, it's got cute girls in it. And Iwakakuru is definitely both those things. As we've got this relatively newcomer to a rock climbing world beside, but she likes the look of rock climbing, she wants to give it a try. But of course, the other girl does not want her to do it at all, because rock climbing is not a game. You shouldn't view it as a game. You shouldn't be something you choose on a whim. You should dedicate your life to it. Rock climbing is serious business. And so a challenge to a race. Yeah, this is following all the sports anime tropes you know and love already. Our main character, Konomi, is an ex-gamer, which is going to appeal to most of the fan base, because most of the fan base are just otaku gamers anyway. I mean, me included, I'm sure. And she doesn't view the wall as something to climb, she views it as a puzzle. And she's athletic because she used to do ballet. She views the wall like a puzzle, where she needs to connect all the pieces that are the same colour to find the correct path up to the top in the shortest time and the easiest method possible. Whereas the other girl's going by all her rock climbing knowledge and expertise, she knows exactly what she wants to aim for, what her abilities are, what she wants to aim for, and so she's going to do it, and she wants to climb rock wall herself. And through a stroke of what can only be called a plot device, they kind of tie and way up the wall. And so Konomi decides she can join the club. Jun, who she climbed against her, sees what sort of talent she has, wants to see how it goes. Of course, the other two characters, Nonaka and Sei, we don't know too much about. They're the upperclassmen. Not really tell about looking at Nonaka because she's short as well as a bunch of them. They're sure to be fun. This is starting out very much like Saki, but for rock climbing. And that's fine by me. I mean, I like Saki. Got me into a bunch of mahjong. I don't think I'm going to get into rock climbing. It's going to teach me a lot about it. And this looks to be a type of anime with pseudo superpowers where these characters are going to know what to do based on their history. And it's launching straight into episode 2, which looks to be airing a competition since they wanted a fourth person to do a rock climbing competition. Yeah, it's definitely going to thrust us into the fourth competition very early on. Now, Iwakakuru looks very nice. It's a very attractive looking anime. The fan service is definitely there. It's not huge bouncing breasts in your face, tits in your face every 5 seconds. It's much more looking at the girl's form The girls are they're scantily clad, but they're muscular. They're that shape for a reason, because that's the shape rock climbers generally tend to be in. And I'm sure, yes, they're designed that way to look glossy and very attractive, but it's not distracting from the main part of the storyline. And that's what I like about shows like this, where the characters are attractive, but that's not the primary aspect of the show. The primary aspect is rock climbing and getting to love rock climbing with these girls. And Iwakakuru definitely does it for me in terms of rewatchability. I want to go back and watch episode 1 again to see how the nuances of what goes on, and I want to get to episode 2 as soon as possible. This was probably my most anticipated show other than one I mentioned before. I mean, I definitely wanted to watch Tonikawa as soon as possible. But Iwakakuru also is a show I saw a while back. Said, I like the look of that show just from the promos. If you want to watch Iwakakuru yourself, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. Hidden traitor games have been all over the place in recent years. You just have to look at the success of Among Us to know how big they've become. But board games like Werewolf and we obviously later versions of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, Resistance, got the likes of Gary's Mod Troubled in Terrorist Town, of Project Winter, to know that stories and games where everybody's trying to work together but somebody's trying to work against them are interesting. And so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise to find out that there's a show like that airing this season. Welcome to the world of talentless Nana. There is one imposter among us. And welcome to the world of our main character. Welcome to the world of Nanao, who is this loner in the back of class. This class of superpowered superhero wannabes being taught on an island to be superheroes to save the world from an impending doom. And this guy is in the back of class, always a bit really butterball jokes because he's talentless. He's got no talent whatsoever. We got guys with super powerful fire skills, ice skills. You've got true precision. You got loads of interesting abilities. You've got this guy who seems to have no ability whatsoever. Now, if you were a thinking person, you would already know what his ability is. He does actually have ability, by the way. He's not talentless. And if you know that he's got the Imagine Breaker, then of course he does. That's spoiling a little bit later on in the episode, really, isn't it? But Talentless Nana is all about Nanao and his learning to make friends in his class with his lack of talent, or his apparent lack of talent, or trying to keep his actual talent hidden from all viewers because he doesn't want them knowing what it is. It gets worse because the rumour is, because this school is designed to help protect humanity from perfected humanity, that maybe something snuck in amongst them. Maybe it is an imposter who is pretending to have a talent, or does have a talent but it's not an actual talent, it's just their superpower being a being threatening the humanity. And once you know it, there's a couple of transfer students. You got Onodera, a guy who refuses to announce what his talent is, a really mysterious talent, very grumpy, very much a loner, and he looks to be there to investigate what's going on in this place. And you've got a super bright and happy, cheery Nana Hiragi, a beautiful girl, introduces herself to the class, saying, "Welcome to the class, I'm happy to be here. My talent is I can read your minds, but I can't read a room." So yeah, she's really, really beautiful, really happy, and she immediately befriends our hero. Well, and then we got another Nana in our midst. We got Nana and Nanao, and Nana is clearly a mind reader. She knows that he's a nice guy. He's got daddy problems. He's got pudding problems. He's got a cat. So she knows exactly what's going on about him. And they grow closer. She puts him forward to be the class president, although he doesn't really want it. Neither does anyone else, actually. And he's sort of a sideline from the thing. But they grow a bit closer, a bit friendlier. And he starts getting annoyed because she's reading his mind and he doesn't want her to. And that's a horrible thing to do. He feels violated. And so they take her a walk because she doesn't really want to do that. And with his new power of being able to block other powers, she finally feels that she no longer has to rely on hearing everybody's thoughts all the time. She can't have relief and relaxation from him because she finally found someone she can't read. And then she pushes him off a cliff because she's the traitor. And that turned rare. Let's be honest, I blatantly knew it straight away. All the mind reading she was doing was blatant cold reading. She knew he was alone and getting bullied because he was at the back of a classroom pretending to read. She knew he had a cat because of claw marks. She was kind because he had a cat with claw marks and didn't really comment about it. Everything she read was obvious. And she was non-committal in a lot of cases as well, so the clues were wide out there before, but he didn't pick up on them. And so her biggest threat, somebody who can negate powers, off in episode 1. The about face that Nana does is fantastic. She goes from this bright and sweet and innocent, la-da-da, I love you girl, to being dark and absolutely dripping with malice in her voice. And halfway through the episode, I was sort of thinking, okay, I'll probably want to watch more of this one. It's a light-hearted, okay show. But that about face at the end, the twist which I knew was coming, still wowed me, floored me. And I want to watch more of this, because hidden trader games are fun, and hidden trait of anime can be fun as well. She may be talentless, but Nana is definitely one amongst us. You can find her airing over at Funimation. Ignoring the obvious absence from this episode, it's been a pretty decent showing, with talentless Nana being a big surprise, and Climbing Girls being unsurprisingly good for me. But the other two shows aren't Tell Believer, and I'll probably watch more than one episode of both. What about you? Do you disagree with me? Am I completely wrong? And should I have really looked at Love Live? Let me know in the comments, and join me next time as I look at 4 more new shows. Bye bye.